everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney, and today I am going to share with you a little pattern review. I have recently sewn up the Seren dress from Tilly and the Buttons. Sorry, a little cleavage there. And I wanted to share my review of the pattern, and also I have styled it in 3 different ways for fall. I realize it is a sundress pattern, and I'm going to pop a picture of it up here. I fell in love with this pattern when she released it. I actually really like the flounce version that's on the cover there. I think that is so sweet and so cute for summer. But clearly, it is middle September, and I live in the Midwest in the US, and so cold days are a-coming. So I kind of wanted to just do a quick review of the pattern and then how I'm going to style it for the upcoming season, which is fall here in the Northern Hemisphere. So, the Seren dress from Tilly and the Buttons. Let me first say, if you are an adventurous beginner, or even just a beginner, Tilly and the Button patterns are one of the best companies to that demographic. All of her instructions are so detailed. Everything is really simplified, but you still get an amazing result at the end of the day. That was the same way with this. It's been the way with all of her patterns that I've made up to this point, but it was the same with this dress, the Seren dress. It was an easy sew. It went together in a day for me. Like I said, I love the flounce version that's on the cover of the pattern. The dress actually has 3 separate versions, and I'll pop a line drawing of the pattern up here as well. So there is the flounce version that's on the cover, which again, I'm totally going to make next summer. It's just so cute. Maybe even one for my daughter. I really like that. There's also a version for a tie front, which kind of shows a little midriff. Probably won't be making that for myself. I have had twins, and so my midriff is just an area that we don't need to be showing off to the world anymore. But it's still very cute on a lot of people. I think it's an adorable version. And then the third one is just the plain version, just the plain sundress, and that is the version that I have decided to make for this one. And again, I will totally wear this dress. So I'm gonna pop some pictures of me twirling and spinning and being awkward in my living room as I'm talking about these. But here is the dress. This is just, like I said, the plain version, no bells, no whistles. I made it in a pale blue tinsel from Blackbird Fabrics. Again, I mention them in every video, I feel like. I love tinsel. I want to talk about the fabric for just a minute. I love tinsel. It's similar to a rayon, so I think it's processed in a very similar way. It moves and feels amazing. The drape on this fabric is, it's just hard to beat. However, sewing with said fabric is a whole nother story. Tinsel is extremely shifty. Your pattern pieces very easily distort. I stay stitched everything after I was done cutting it out and still noticed things growing like up to 1.25 inches. I popped a little thing on my Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, if you don't, you should, of making the dress, and the hem fell so dramatically in a 24-hour period. I mean, I was cutting off like almost 4 inches in places, and then up to nothing at like the center front and the center back. So maybe not the best fabric choice for a beginner, but if you are feeling adventurous and you are used to sewing with slippery fabrics, tinsel made up fantastic in this dress. I love, yeah, it just feels amazing. And I think it's going to be really nice and cool in the hot summer next year. So anyway, that is the dress. I love the construction. I sewed a size 5, which is actually much, well, not much. It's smaller. It fits my measurements except for my bust. I had to do, I think 2.5 inches full bust adjustment total. So 1.25 inches on each side. I think that's what I ended up doing. But that's really that, and I shortened the skirt by 2 inches. I find I don't have to shorten patterns as much with Tilly and the Buttons. Again, I'm 5'2". A lot of times I end up taking like 4 inches off the length because a lot of independent patterns are made for someone that's more close around 5'6". So I find I usually have to take off about 4 inches. But Tilly drafts her patterns, so something to take into account whether you're taller than normal or shorter than normal. I usually only have to take 2 inches off her patterns. And I love the way that the midi length, it falls right where it's supposed to. So 2 inches is pretty much on par what I have to take off for her patterns. Other than that, no alterations, no hacks or anything like that. Love the way the dress turned out. So let's talk about styling it a little bit for fall. Clearly, it's very strappy, a strappy dress. Not gonna work with, even now, we're getting temperatures in the low 50s, you know, in the evenings, and it's only getting up into the upper 60s, low 70s here. So it's too chilly. I get cold easily anyway. Too chilly for me to be wearing without other things. So basically there's nothing like earth-shattering, I feel like, about how I've styled this dress. Really, with a sundress, you can put things underneath it or you can put things over it, and that's kind of the end. But I just thought I would show you 3 ways that I'm styling it with my Me Maids, just to give you a little inspiration maybe and a little ideas of different ways that you can wear your sundresses into fall. So outfit number 1, I have very simply layered it over my turtleneck. This is the Rowan turtleneck by Megan Nielsen. I've talked about that a lot, I feel like, in my videos. This is actually the one that I had originally made as a bodysuit, decided I could not easily use the restroom in it, so I chopped it off into a turtleneck. I love this. I love it paired with a pair of mules, so I don't have tights on with this one, and this can easily be a transitional piece. Very easy. It starts to get colder, like if I'm going out in the evenings where I don't really need anything on my legs, because it is midi length, but if I want something on my arms, it's a great way to layer it. Okay, version 2. I love this version. It kind of turns it into a skirt. So I have paired my Seamwork Astoria over this one, and it makes it look like a button-down skirt, which I think is phenomenal. And honestly, you could wear it this way, I feel like, well into winter. I have paired it with tights and with a pair of ankle boots, and I feel like this outfit could go the distance year-round, really, here. The tights that I have on here are very warm, like cable knit tight, so you know, dead of winter when it's cold, I mean, you would maybe need to wear, actually you could even put like some cute snow boots on underneath it and just stomp around if need be. I really think that that might happen this winter with me in snow boots and my Seren dress. So there you go. But I do love it paired with the Astoria. I think it's important to obviously pair it with something that stops at the waist so you get that nipped in effect so that you don't become too shapeless. But yeah, love this version. And then my third version, I have paired it again over a white button down. So this I feel like kind of takes the dress into pinafore territory, which clearly the pinafore has been extremely popular the past few seasons. I don't see that slowing down any. It's still popping up everywhere for this fall. And I like that look over the button down shirt. I've also put a belt with it here, and I think that's kind of fun too. I paired it also with my boots, and I feel like this is maybe a little bit of a nod to the kind of that Western, that cowgirl trend that is popping up a little bit. They were popping up on the runways for the fall winter, I guess it's 18, 19, I can't remember how they do that. Fall winter 18, I guess. But I've noticed there was a little bit of that cowgirl nod, and I feel like this kind of does that without going costumey or too like hoedown. So I was pleased with how this one turned out too, and I will definitely get some wear in there. But again, you could put tights under this version as well and wear it into winter. As long as you have something warm that goes, because this fabric does let a lot of like air through. But if you have on some insulated tights, I feel like this could definitely go the distance. Also, you could clearly pair a cardigan over it, jackets, that kind of thing. But I thought 3 was nice and concise, so you weren't sitting here listening to this video forever. So anyway, that kind of wraps it up. Thumbs up for the Seren dress. Again, Tilly did another knockout pattern. She does every time. If you are a beginner, definitely check out her patterns. They're a little more pricey, but well worth the almost course that you get in her instruction booklets. So I highly recommend the Tilly and the Buttons patterns for newbies. But yeah, great dress pattern, easy to transition from summer into the winter. So that's it for today. I have a couple more, well, one more, I guess, project that's not related to my upcoming capsule coming up, I think, between this video and then I had some interest in doing a how to refashion that men's sweater into the Edie top for the Sew Over It capsule. So I'm going to do that video as well, but I can't decide if that one's coming next or if I'm going to do another pattern review in between there. But next week, stay tuned. I'm trying to post every week, so, and maybe even more frequently than that. So you don't miss any of those fun and exciting videos that are coming up. Please hit the subscribe button, and also thumbs up if you liked this video. So and leave a comment. I love having the conversations. I've been loving all the comments that people have been leaving. I just love chatting all things sewing. So anyway, until next time, happy sewing, and I'll see you soon. Bye.